I was exhausted, and about every 3 to 6 months, I found myself in a place where I was undecided about whether I wanted to continue doing the thing that I had been doing, period. I had custom built a an establishment that really fit my vision. I did a build out in over 2,000 square foot building. I had employed 12 staff members. The details of the art and the furniture were handpicked for the culture and the brand that I had built for going on a decade. And I still found myself uncomfortable with what I had built. Now, not uncomfortable because it wasn't to my liking, but because I had outgrown the role that I played at that point, not only in my business, but also in my life. I had no idea that holding on and denying the inner thoughts that I was having about creating something new and different, about pivoting, was actually causing me more exhaustion. It was actually causing me to be more drained. It was actually causing me to not give 100%, to begin resenting the beautiful establishment, the beautiful brand I had created. I didn't know how necessary it was for me to pivot. One of the best decisions I could have sat down and made was that I was no longer waiting. You see, all of the times where I was doing small things that would rejuvenate me long enough to hold on another 3 months or another 6 months was turning into only having the power of giving me the juice for 1 month. Like I was literally not connected to what I was doing anymore. And deciding that I was no longer waiting to do this new, higher version of my vision was the best thing I could have ever done. I was going to go all out with my vision and the desires of my heart. This was a decision that I made. There would be no more waiting on others to understand what I was setting out to do. No more waiting on the conditions to be perfect. No more waiting for everyone in my immediate circle and beyond to approve. No more waiting on other people to treat me well or change their behavior. I would do that for myself, for me. No more waiting to transition from one role in my brick and mortar business to what I do now, full time, from my home or location free successfully. What I do successfully now. I'm just thinking about what if I had not pivoted. I'm coaching and consulting, and I absolutely love it. Just think, if I waited a few more years, this time of my life would be very different. No more waiting on the perfect external economic climate to launch, pivot, or show up. I made a decision that I would create my own economic climate. Because I understand that God gives us the power to get wealth, I also didn't see anything about depending on the world climate. What I see in scripture or other texts that I read is that wisdom, belief, and faith and a vision is what has carried many people in what may have seemed like uncomfortable times. And so I took that mindset, and it's the mindset that I help my clients to shift into. So, if you're new here, I'm Tanya Wilson, Master Life and Business Coach. I am a transformational business and mindset coach, and I teach from a 3 point perspective. Abundance mindset, which is the place I had to step into. I had to remember to live in, personal growth and business building are the three aspects that I teach and work with my clients on. And you'll hear me talk from those three perspectives in any posts that you see me share on social media, any videos that you watch or listen to as you are now, and inside my programs like a 3D Success Academy, when I'm working with clients in a power hour or some longer version of support that I offer them for their business or life, you will hear me coming from one of those three perspectives: abundance mindset, personal growth, and business building. I believe those are the perfect three dynamics to activate in your life when you want to succeed to new levels. For me, I made a decision to pivot. No more waiting to work with the perfect client, even. I instantly decided to align with the perfect client. And this is one of the reasons why I fully believe in the way I teach business, which is from a holistic perspective, where we also look at how you are growing and evolving and aligning that with your true desires for growth in your business and your life. Now, it wasn't until I went within, until I was able to answer my own questions from a soul level, where I was able to be honest with myself, where I was able to say, yes, this is what you've been doing for a really long time and you've had success in it. However, the role that you play in it needs to evolve in order for you to continue to find fulfillment. And what that required me to do was to have a more open perspective on possibility. And that has been what has allowed me to pivot in many um, segments of my life, whether it was personally or professionally, and continue to reach levels of success that satisfy my soul, my ability to pivot. So I decided I was no longer waiting to be happy. I was going to create happiness from within. I was no longer waiting to live in peace. I devised a plan to change my life, my mind, and environment and move towards peace instead of waiting for it to come to me. And what I find as a transformational coach and consultant is that many people are waiting. And I encourage you to take on the concept as we enter into 2025 of no more waiting. The biggest disappointment is to continue to wait over and over again and then find that 5 and 10, 15, even 2 decades have gone by and you're living the same year over and over again. That you are carrying goals over to this proverbial list each and every year and writing it down and getting in the hype of the new year thing gives you an energy, but it's not necessarily giving you results. You have to step into a space of no more waiting. I was no longer waiting to stop trading all of my precious time for dollars. I sat down and decided there would be no more waiting to get my whole life. Trading my time for dollars was taking up life force for me. Now, when I made this decision, it's amazing how many opportunities became available for me to make money with less of my effort, simply because I became open to the concept, because I became open to not no longer having to do things the way that I'd always done them. Some of the decisions that I made didn't seem logical, but I've learned to trust the voice within and follow the nudge. What have you been waiting on, possibly for years? How much further along could you be in the creation of your vision, goals, and dreams had you started 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 1 year ago, or even yesterday? You would be amazed at how quickly things would happen. I remember working with a client, and this just came into my energy as I'm sharing now, who, as we went through our business assessment call, and I began to understand who she was as a brand and show her some gaps and some tweaks that she could make that would change the trajectory of her business success. One of the simple, profound things we did was change her bio. Now, you may be thinking, what does a bio have to do with pivoting and changing your life? But that one change that we made immediately upon her changing her bio, she was contacted by an organization. This and what we had been working on as far as creating intellectual property for her. This opportunity, the people reaching out to her, this is where I talked about how, I decided that I was no longer waiting for the perfect client. I was instantly deciding to align. This was her aligning to the people that she desired to work with, that she desired to support in the world. And she attracted them. And that's what alignment does. And this happens when you decide to pivot. But they reach out to her, and this opportunity turns into her teaching. And it's been a minute since she shared. So I'm going to use the number 15. But in all honesty, I believe the last number she told me was 30. But teaching the concept we worked on to over 30 counties. Like, simply because she changed her bio. She was willing to pivot, to think differently. And I'm bringing this up because I talked about how could things be different for you if you decided to change 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, yesterday, even? Because that's how quickly things can happen when you get in alignment and decide to pivot. When you are saying yes to, I'll do it later, now is not the right time, I can't afford it, instead of how can I afford it, you are saying no to the business and lifestyle you deserve and desire now. Learning to go within and trust what you sense is a powerful practice that requires new levels of faith, a new identity, and a new willingness for new possibilities. It requires you to be in the energy of no more waiting and saying yes to your pivot. That's my take on today. For those of you who are looking to pivot, maybe you're looking for a pivot strategy, I have numerous ways to support you, um, to determine what stage you are in your business and where you like to be and fill in some of those gaps. My power hour is probably a perfect place to start. And all of the Power Hour investments can be upgraded to either my academy. What would happen is the cost that you pay for the Power Hour would be deducted from the cost that you pay for investment into the academy, or it can be upgraded into longer forms of working with me. I have renew strategy sessions. I have activate, which is like a 3 month time frame of working with me in your business. There's several different options for longer opportunities for me to support you in your business, really determining who you are as a brand. And a lot of that is identity, which is an area I really rock out in. It's also an area of personal growth and development. So it taps into one of the three areas that I focus on in the holistic work that I do in helping people to grow, build, and scale their businesses, renew their brands, and rebrand their lives. My clients are getting amazing results. I have clients who easily 3 to 5x their income in their time of working with me, and many clients who make mental shift, mental mindset, and identity shifts, who see results within even 24 hours. I have testimonials. If you've been following me, you hear that, and it's been consistent. And I'm so grateful for how I get to support women in what I do. I really believe that women should make a lot of money, one, but I believe that they should create futures bigger than their past and lifestyles that they love. So their work should be in alignment where they, number one, enjoy what they do, but they also have time freedom. They not only have financial freedom, they're not only building for financial freedom, but they also have a time rich business as well, so that they create businesses and lifestyles that they love and not ones that they tolerate. No more waiting. That's the energy you need to be in. Is it time for your pivot? Reach out to me. Peace and abundance.